And I want to thank you for investing in the Shareholders podcast, man. It's a blessing to be here. And I have some great guests here today, personal friends of mine. They let me attend a wedding. They let me actually officiate. And it was really a great time. I've been knowing my man. This is my barber. So when you see your man all did up good, this is the guy that helps me out. And his lovely wife is here. They are Mr. Antonio and Mrs. Ashlie Spurlock. How y'all doing today, fam?
Doing well, thank you.
Hey, doing great.
Hey, thank you guys so much, man. They took a little time out their busy schedule just to come on my little show. So I appreciate it, guys. And I wanted to bring them on because a couple reasons, but the first thing that I want to hit with you guys is that Ashlie, you're in realty.
Yes.
And Tone, you are a barber.
Yep.
And of course, you guys know, pandemic hit and a lot of jobs were hit. A lot of people were affected and stuff like that. But you guys' professions, even with pandemic, is something that still kind of remain with, with certain restrictions and things like that. But
absolutely,
the realty people, I've had a realtor on during the pandemic. And she was like, yeah, we were still going. And then once we were allowed back in shops,
right.
barber shops and things like that. So I want to ask you guys, in terms of financial security, is even picking these professions, not knowing about a pandemic, was that kind of something where I know you just love what you do, but how does it feel with financial security knowing that, okay, at the end of the day, people got to have a place to live and we like to look good. Do you feel like your professions kind of give you guys a leg up, so to speak?
I'll let you go first.
It was kind of wild because at first, I cut hair through the recession. Mm-hmm. Cut hair through that time, and everything was okay. Because at the end of the day, people still had to come get a haircut to go get another job, or or they was keeping their haircut fresh because they were still at work. So it kind of never fell off for the barber. Yeah. This was the first time where I felt it actually hit us to where they said, no, you're not going to work. You can't go make no money right now. And that was tough. So for new barbers or for people who wasn't financially stable or able to save up and have a rainy day fund, I could see it being real. It was tough, because they sat us down and said nothing. That's, that was crazy. And for the first time I ever had to deal with that. And, I was happy when they opened back up, man, because I had a waiting list. It was people that was coming in looking like, hey, man, they were so happy to see me. I was just as happy to see them because, it was running low.
His appointments booked up in like 2 hours. The whole week. The whole week was going in like 2 hours.
Yeah, they jammed me. But I was grateful. I'm working OT. Mm-hmm. I'll be here late and I'm coming in early because, it was grind time.
Honestly, man, I'm going to just tell you this on a personal level. I think I've told you this before, but one of the reasons I go to you is because you're there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, my man is a very hard worker. And, I remember different barbers and all that, man. Like, sometimes I got to track dudes down. Like, man, where you at?
Right.
But, for a person like you that's serious about their profession, to be there and to, be in the shop, putting in them hours, man, as a client, just to have that confidence, it really means something for me. And so, like you said, that was the first time I ever remember the barbershop not being open.
Right, I know.
Which is weird.
That was tough because we here, we with the community.
Yeah.
We go through it. That was the first time we ever had to go through and the community had to see us and not be able to come to us.
Yeah.
In the troublesome times or hard times or whatever. So it was awkward, man.
So then Ashlie, for you, how, especially like a year ago around March and April, because everybody's this is kind of the anniversary, at least in the United States, where, I remember when the NBA shut down and then I think Tom Hanks was like, he paused. I was like, yo, what is going on right now? It was kind of scary. So a year ago, how are you feeling with your profession, in realty?
Well, for me, I'm coming up on my 4th year in this industry, and I was just kind of sat back and examined what was happening. I needed to lean on the experts. I needed to see what the chief economists were saying. I needed to see what the market predictions were, because I didn't know if the market was going to change. And if it was going to change, what do I need to know, and how am I going to help my clients?
Yeah.
Whether it's being informed on forbearance and what happens afterwards, or if it's being informed on what might happen with interest rates. Are we predicting houses to foreclose? Are we predicting mass changes? And I think that's where everybody was at. And even as an agent myself, this was something unforeseen. Nobody that I know that works in real estate right now has been through a pandemic, right? So we were like, well, let's talk about this. What might happen? And I said, well, I know a little bit about REO and foreclosure and probate and all kinds of different things, right? But I just took a second to kind of read in depth so that if those things came before me, I was ready to help whoever needed to be helped and point them in the right direction. So, this wasn't something that I really knew or could feel that I knew what might happen. I really had to wait a few weeks. And I took calls and I was like, hey, listen, like right now, everything is shut down. Everybody's in their home.
Yeah.
Everybody's tucked away. Nobody's doing showings right now. So everybody's on pause. We don't need to panic just yet. And, thankfully, probably about mid-April, like the chief economists of Zillow, National Association of Realtors, Mortgage Brokers Association, all of those people got together and said, hey, this is what they're offering people who can't pay their mortgage. This is what we think is going to happen. And it was really quite comforting to learn that we think the market is going to recover in a V shape.
Yeah.
And I was kind of starting to talk to people in April and May, and they're like, no, foreclosures are coming. And I'm like, well, I know that's what you want to hear. Everybody wants to get an $80,000 house again, right? But I was like, I don't think that that's where we're headed. And thankfully, real estate has helped the whole nation recover economically. So
really it has. And again, for my outside viewers, we're in Las Vegas. And so it was really a lot of just, I don't want to just say volatility, but, we're a
kind of
tourist town, and we didn't know what's going on. And
right.
especially, and so I just remember, like I said, a year ago, there was just so much uncertainty with everything. And so I'm sure a lot of people were talking to you just because everybody was wondering about the housing. Listen, fam, I can't work. I'm gonna pay rent. I'm gonna pay mortgages, and that was a big thing. And so, let me ask you then? Do you feel like where we are now, and everybody knows things are slowly, getting better, and rising up. Do you feel or I should just ask you this: what do you feel like real estate's gonna do? Just your best estimation, maybe in the next couple months, as things ease up. Looks like, vaccines are coming out and people are feeling a little more comfortable.
Right. Yeah. So they say that, some of the top reasons that people didn't sell in 2020 was like financial insecurity and health concerns and life insecurity. But, financial security, we're getting stimuluses. There's all kinds of recovery methods for business owners and those kinds of things, right? So there's a little bit of padding for different types of people. Unemployment has recovered from 14% to 6% already.
Wow.
Right? And that's like double the pace that we saw the last time our economy was here. So I think that as we continue to recover and, health concerns are somewhat eliminated by the vaccine, that the market is going to stay healthy. And because, jobs and new opportunities are out there, there's a healthy buyer market. So, it's also a healthy time for sellers to put their house on the market because there's so many buyers. I do think that for the foreseeable future, real estate is going to continue to appreciate.
So let me transition, and I want to ask you guys then, you're both professionals, you're both out in the workforce, but you also have family, you got kids. You know what I mean? And so that's always kind of the magic question to ask a working couple. Like, how do you balance all of this? And we were talking about even pandemic stuff and craziness. And then, Tone, once you went back, man, you booked solid, and now you're showing how do you guys find time to manage your careers and with your kids and then find, quality time for yourselves. Tell us how you doing all that.
So I will say, like, it takes a village. And our kids, we're grateful to be able to put our kids in a private school where they're actually in school. So that affords me the time that I need to go and perform my
your
duties,
kids
right?
were going to school then.
Right. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay, good. Yeah.
And so I think that, we're just able to balance each other out. When we see a need, the other person really, really kind of picks up and takes it, whether it's dishes or getting the kids to track practice, to dance. Like, we talk about things before they come about. I think communication really helps us in that area.
You got this guy doing dishes? This guy here?
Man, I got a domestic side.
See, I've been knowing this.
He's great at dishes.
Okay, all right. Let me know what tone a minute. I ain't no tones on.
Yeah, man, I get it done. No, but it's sacrifice, it's hard work, but it just takes two people that want to do it.
Yeah.
You could fall apart if somebody doesn't want to do it. Easy. I mean, nobody has to be here.
Yeah.
You got to want that. So I want her, she want me. We want our family to be healthy, and we just get it done. We're sacrificing time, sacrificing I might need you to pick up some slack for me. I may got to pick up some slack for you, but bottom line, it just got to get done. It has to get done. So, we sacrifice the time and make sure it gets where it needs to be.
We also choose like healthy activities though. Like, we're super mindful about our time together.
Yeah.
So for him and I, it's the gym. For the kids, it's an hour at the park on Sunday. It's, watching them on a dance class and they feel like we're focused on them, know? So in large part, I'm doing dance, Dad does track because it's outside and it's too cold.
Yeah.
But our grouped time is like, the kids have a test, they get 100%, we take them ice cream.
Right.
So we're really choosy about how we spend our time together.
So now you kids are young though, and so what did they know about the pandemic? Did you have to sit them down and kind of, although because since they were going to school, there was a sense of normalcy, but even at a young age, did they have any questions with you guys, or how'd you kind of deal with that with them?
I think initially, all of us felt like there was like an invisible boogeyman outside.
Yeah, that's true.
And the shock of it all, the kids they understood that, coronavirus was out there. I don't think they really knew like, oh God, is there like green dust outside? Like, what are they talking about, right?
Right.
So we were just like, we got to do our regular routine stuff, right? We're washing our hands. They say we got to wear a mask, and we take our vitamins and did things that we actually kind of normally do. And I think that they were absorbing our panic at first. Yeah. Just the unknown, right? But then they asked a lot of questions, and we just honored them, answered them honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, the boogeyman. I think the more we watched the news, the more he became a more fearful
like real,
Candyman. It was like, turn the TV off.
Yeah, really.
Stop watching it and he'll go away, and everything I kept on seeing and hearing and reading was underlying health issues. Well, my family and I, we practice very good discipline on our diet. We exercise, frequently during the week. The kids, they exercise, they run track. This is their 3rd or 4th season running track. Yeah. They do dance, we keep them active. And I try and respect everybody's mind. But in a sense, I know you have to have some germs to build an immune system.
Right, yeah.
So I wasn't fearful of my kids being around people, and I wasn't scared to be around people. Of course, I'm taking my precautions. If I see somebody sneezing or coughing or you look ill, yes, it's in my best interest to not be within your,
It's right.
But,
right.
I wasn't scared to the point where I was ready to get out the house.
Yeah.
I was ready to go to work. I was ready to go make some money. I was ready to socialize. I was, I wasn't scared like that. Precautions, yes. Scared, no.
Yeah.
He planted the first tree with the kids.
Oh, really?
When we first shut down. Yeah. It was super cute.
Okay, you can't tell me enough domestic tone stories. I love all of that. I'm here for all of that. But guys, we're going to take a quick break. hear from a sponsor, and then we're going to come back. I got a couple more questions I want to ask the Spurlocks here, so stay with us. This is the Shareholders Podcast. Y'all know, keep it locked, man. I need them subscribes too, so stay with us. We'll be right back. Today's episode of the Shareholders Podcast is brought to you by Mr. Chris M. Webb. He is running for city council in the city of Whitehall, Ohio, but more importantly, he is a political consultant, and he is here to help you with any questions or concerns you might have in these strange political times. You can check him out at Chris M. Webb on Instagram or at the same handle, Chris M. Webb, on Twitter. He's also a Chris Webb on Facebook. If you're a young person or an older person and you have questions and concerns about what's going on, or if you're thinking about running for office, he is a great person to talk to. He's offering his services for free. As of right now, the price might go up, we don't know. But for right now, you can take advantage of his information. He is very knowledgeable and he's willing to help. Doesn't matter what side you're on or anything like that. Check him out if you have any questions on what it takes to run for office, what it takes to get a campaign going. You can check him out. Or if you just have questions and want to holler at him, Chris M. Webb. He is my cousin. I vouch for him. All right, check him out. Guys, we are back, and man, I'm enjoying this conversation with Ashlie and Antonio. And I wanted to segue right off of what you were talking about. So I'm going to ask you, because I remember when I seen Tone the first time back, he's like, man, I'm ready, man. I'm feeling good. I'm all right, you know. And you really did kind of have a sense of like, no, we going to be all right. Mm-hmm. But how did you feel? Because he is around a lot of people, you know. And again, initially, even coming back, people were a little nervous. And you know, a barber is, you know, I mean, in the hood, everybody comes through, you know what I'm saying? They know a lot of people. Were you a little nervous for him just going back into work in that kind of environment?
I don't remember having like too much unease. Mm-hmm. I think I trusted him to kind of take care of himself and keep his area clean and really just pay attention to who was in the chair and how do they look, how are they feeling. Yeah. You know, and just making sure that he was doing what he needs to do. But at home, I was like juicing vegetables. I was sending him to work with like immunities, you know? I was putting his vitamins out for the morning. Yeah. I just was trying to do my part in making sure that, you know, he's going to be okay. And from there, really, it's on him to take care of the things he needs to get back to us.
Yeah. And that's, I know that for certain professions, there was different kind of protocols and things like that. I know even for me as a musician, and I work a lot in my church, we had so many things we had to kind of take into account for, and very just, you know, and everybody had a different approach with it. But I feel like with us now where we are, and it's been, like I keep saying, it's been about a year since it really hit. I feel like for the most part, not everybody, for the most part, we're doing better, and we're learning and growing more. So I want to get back deeper into you guys' profession. So I'm going to ask a realty question. Okay. And you were saying some things about how you researched and you read up on some things. And I love to hear that for anybody that does anything that comes on this podcast, because I sometimes feel like, you know, somebody might say, oh, I want to do that, or I want to learn, but then they think it's easy to just do. Woo. And just, you know, so what would be the first thing you tell a prospective young realtor or somebody that just wanted to get into it and learn some things and maybe some stuff you didn't know at the time that you wish you would have known? What would be the first kind of piece of advice you give?
So I have like two different mindsets, right? Because there's people who want to pass the test to get into real estate, and then there's real estate. They're actually kind of different sometimes. For people who want to pass the test, I actually have a list of notes that I pass on to people when they're studying for the real estate test. And I tell them, like, make your flashcards. And you got to make them in your own handwriting because your brain absorbs the information differently. So, you know, you repeat it, you read it in your own handwriting, it's there, it's stored. And then I tell them on test day, right? You're going to listen to Mozart for 10 minutes because it's going to raise your IQ 10 points. Oh, wow. So on your way to take any test, it seems so silly, right? But it's the little things. If you've studied, you did your flashcards, listen to Mozart, you have a little piece of chocolate to boost your caffeine, not enough to give you the jitters. These are like test taking skills that I was given, and I passed my real estate test with like a 95%. Wow. Which is, I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but that's like almost unheard of. So, and then for people who are just getting into real estate, I would say, like your sphere of influence and the people you're connected with. You really only have to stay in front of them and reach out to them, because referrals are going to be your best source starting out, right? So your family, your friends, the people you used to work with, you're going to reach out to them. Hey, this is what I'm doing now. I've got really cool people that are backing me up in my new journey, and I'm here to help. Another thing, my broker's really trying to push me to get on live on Facebook, right? And we were kind of talking about this a minute ago, right? But he was saying that people like the bloopers. They wanna feel like they know who they're working with, who they're doing business with, right? And so I take that approach in two different ways. One, I just say what I know and in my own tone, and I'm not gonna like commercialize myself. And in that same aspect, I'm wearing jeans, okay? I might put on a blazer, but I'm not gonna like suit and tie this in an industry full of, you know, the different personalities. Yeah. You know, I'm just gonna be myself. You'll know who you're working with. I'll be transparent. We'll reach your goals, you know? So I think that that's the advice I would have given myself 3.5, 4 years ago.
I like that. The Mozart thing. See, now I'm ashamed I didn't know that. I'm calling myself a musician. That's good. That's good. So conversely, Tone, young barber or young stylist, you know, trying to get in the game, learning, what would be some advice that you would give a young person that wants to be a professional like yourself? Because let me tell you real quick, man, when I came here, I was just so impressed because when I walked in the shop, like everybody had their license and everybody was, you know, where I used to call, you know, guys that's doing stuff on the side, but I'm like, man, these cats is really about it. So what would be some of the advice you'd give a young barber?
Oh man, I could go on forever. But the main goal number one is stay behind the chair. You can't be a barber and make any money if you're not at the barbershop.
Yeah. There you go.
Be here first. You're gonna have slow days. You're gonna have some days where you just sitting on your butt, but you know you're gonna get a walk in and jazz them up, talk to him, be personal with him, make that client yours because he's here because he doesn't have someone that he goes to all the time.
Right.
Make him the person that you want to deal with all the time. You know, so be there, be professional. Be on time, try and be prompt, aim to please. I
think a pinch of it is being personable because Tone is so easy to talk to.
And it gets better. Yeah. You get better with that. I mean, you might be a little shy or a little timid at first with meeting people, but as you go on in this profession and you get to dealing with a person more than once, or, you know, he comes in more and more, you get more comfortable with dealing with him and it gets easier. But you know, a lot of young people aren't used to socializing as much now because
that's true.
We're in a day where everything is so gadget friendly, social media, everybody's on the phone. You'll talk more on texting and DM than you will when you'll be sitting right next to somebody and just be staring at them right in their face. But so a lot of the new barbers are using that as a tool, and me as an older barber, we didn't do that. Yeah. We were passing out business cards and passing out flyers and putting in the groundwork. Now you could reach 1,000 people at the touch of a button. Yeah. You know, so that's true. And they taught me that, you know, so I'm learning something from the new guys, the new generation as well. You know, I could give them the game on what you do behind the chair, but they teaching me a whole lot on how I could reach more people and touch more audience way quicker than my old school way, you know? Yeah. So they on the social media and I'm tapped into that now. So I'm getting people coming in. Yeah, I saw your booksy on Instagram, or I saw your saw a picture you posted on. Like, man, who are you? You know, like the fans is watching the sun, man. But, you know, keep coming. I love it, you know. So, you know, I could get them the game behind the chair and they could give me a little game on how this stuff working on the internet. And, you know, I don't mind swapping game with them.
See, that you're segueing into the next thing I was going to talk about was adaptability. But I'm gonna put a pin in that because with you, man, like last time I was in, you know, we was talking about the situation with the basketball player and what he said, you know, that, you know, and the one thing with the barbershop is just the personalities do come out, you know, and that day we was all talking, you know, we all had, and you can't, you just can't fake that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's genuine. You know what I mean? I had a person, a lady, and we did a show, and she was from out of town, and so she said, "Yeah, my makeup person came through." I said, "Where'd you go for makeup?" She said, "Well, she came to my hotel." I said, "I didn't know they was doing it." I said, I was like, I don't know if I could do that with a barber. I mean, if I had to, like, yeah, come up to the room, but I like going to the barber shop.
Right.
I like the experience. You know what I'm saying? And so it just can't be fake. But going to adaptability, I wanted to say that next. So now for you, Ashlie, I'm not sure. I don't know a lot with realty, but what do you have to do or find yourself doing to stay ahead of the game, if you will? Is there like, like Tone was just talking about technology you did kind of talk about it with Facebook and want to be out there. Are there other things that you find yourself having to do in terms of staying relevant or adapting to things in real estate?
Adaptability is like key. I mean, the market fluctuates every couple months, and I'm not talking about any major fluctuation, right? But I'm just talking about the way that buyers and sellers deal with each other kind of fluctuates based on like what the market is doing, right? And so I think adaptability is key. One thing that I do like to do when I'm sending an offer in or even taking an offer in, I like to know who I'm working with on the other side of things. So that I can say something to appeal to them and get my buyer's offer accepted or, right? So that I get a feel for who I'm about to work with when I accept their offer. And so like, I'll look them up on Facebook, on Instagram. And I know we get to paint a pretty picture on social media, but sometimes you still can get a feel for who it is you're going to work with, right? And so I'm able to adapt a pinch, so to speak, before I go into doing my best for the client. I get a feel for what's going on the other side. And it's not just black and white, I mean, you got to put your heads together, keep your buyer and seller happy. All of that's key. It's so important. Yeah. So,
that is so true in so many aspects. You know what I mean? It's just like how we did things one way is not how we, like you said, Tony, you guys were passing out cards at one point. Now, if you're a barber, I can't imagine not being on social media now.
Yeah, you have to.
That's the game, and for you, I'd ask you, like, what do you do with the new like hairstyles? Because I mean, cats won't. Man, give me a dragon on the side, and do we get some frosted tips? I don't even know, man. But like,
we talk so much about that.
Is that something? Okay, yeah. Well, how do you stay up on that, man?
It's crazy. After cutting hair so long, you're gonna get new styles.
Yeah.
You'll see each generation. I feel like everything now, is just better. But you've seen it before. Like a lot of the styles we seeing in the NBA with the naturals right now, or the hair being wild on top, kind of remind you of what's the movie Spike Lee in the Bronx?
Do the right thing.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of that natural look on top right now.
Yeah, my man.
But instead of the chili bowl on the side, it's faded now. So it's just perfected what we saw before, and it's nothing. If you know how to fade, you could do pretty much whatever they got going on right now.
Yeah.
But you're just seeing it come back. But when it comes back, it's coming back better now.
Yeah.
It looks a little more sharp. It's a little more crisp. It's a little more blended. But it's the same thing you've been doing. It just
hair is cyclical. It's just kind of like afros come back, then they go away.
Yep.
That's true.
That's it. So point. It's just you have more tools to be able to create these styles. So the clippers are getting better. They're easier to work. They're working faster, or they're cutting crispier. So, the new is the new, but it's just the old mixed with a new twist. That's it.
Yeah.
The remix.
Yeah, there's a remixing of it. Guys, we're gonna take one more break, and I got two more questions for the Spurlocks, man, because I gotta let them go. They got family life. So we're gonna come right back after this from our word from a sponsor. Stay with us on the Shareholders.
Today's episode of the Shareholders podcast is brought to you by Wardley Real Estate. If you are in search of a realtor, maybe looking to sell, buy, or rent, get in contact with Lakeisha Myers for all of your home buying or selling interests. She's an agent that puts herself in your shoes and helps you focus on the immediate goal at hand, and that is making sure you find the right home that meets your standards. Reach out and give her your vision, and you will not be disappointed. Don't wait. Contact her now, because remember, you can make your dream of becoming a homeowner a reality by taking this first step. You can contact her by phone, email, or check out her website at lakeishamyers.wardleyre.com. That is again lakeishamyers.wardleyre.com, or on Instagram at Live Love Vegas Homes. Please check her out. You will not be disappointed.
Fam, we are back once again, and I thank you. Please check out the sponsors too, man. I appreciate them helping the brother out. You know, a little pocket change. I ain't never mad at that. But I've really been enjoying my conversation with my people here today, and hopefully it's helping you guys. It's blessing you guys as well. Now I want to talk one more thing. You know, you see this, so many times. Couples goals. You know what I'm saying? And we sometimes we idolize a little too much. You know, it's nothing wrong with, I always believe, having somebody that you want to pattern your success after and learning. I always believe in that, but sometimes we just be putting folk out there. But I would ask you guys for your future, not that you had to have a 5-year plan or 10-year plan, but what are some couples goals for you guys? Some things that you guys are still wanting to work toward or build toward, you know what I mean? As y'all look at each other.
No, we actually have goals meetings.
What?
Yeah.
Hey, see why I brought them on? Break that down, please.
Yeah.
What's the goal? What's that?
What's funny, because it started out with there's probably about 5 to 6 other couples that we hang out with. Their kids are the same age as ours. Mm-hmm. We get together at least twice a month at someone's house. It's real comfortable, real cool people, you know what I mean? It feels genuine. Yeah. And so that said, the guys used to have goals meetings. And the girls used to have goals meetings, right? But then like the girls get together and we're talking, and the guys get together and the game is on, right? So more recently we started doing goals meetings with just one other of the couples. Mm-hmm. And it's like super focused. We have 5 categories. We all read our goals out loud. They're not too lengthy, just a little bit in each category, so we can actually focus on them, right? Because when we get too long, like I don't know what I'm supposed to do first. Where do I start? That's true. So we have individual goals that we support each other on. One thing I love about my marriage is that there's still individuality, even though we're united. Whatever he wants to do, wherever he wants to go, I'm just here to support and make it happen so he can be happy. Yeah. And vice versa. So I think we have goals in common because we know where each other wants to go, and we're both trying to make it happen no matter how it happens.
Man, that's good.
What do you think?
You hit it right on key. That's what the goal means are important. They keep us on task, keep us on point. We check in with each other, keeping each other focused on that vision. Right now we both are trying to get to some pretty big goals right now, and it's a task, but we're sacrificing and doing the right things to get to those things. My wife wants to start flipping houses this year, so we both are, committed to getting that done. That's one of her big goals that she wants to get done. I want to get a shop open. I've been in the game a long time. It's time for it to start giving back to me a little bit.
Yes, sir.
So we both pushing each other in that direction to start capitalizing on what we do a little more. So, and the goals help. The goal meetings help. Yeah. Keep you on task and not drifting. It's easy to get out here and drift and feel like you need a vacation or feel like you need to go hang out or go buy something and feel good. So we kind of tucking that on the back end right now and getting towards the gritty part. So it's coming.
And man, it's so easy to talk to y'all because y'all go right into my next. So my last thing for you guys was going to be, accountability, where, again, we see a lot of glitz and glamour and all that stuff, but I truly believe that your spouse should hold you accountable for some things. You know what I mean? You might not always like it. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes people don't like to talk about that, or they don't like to get into that. But, how is that with you guys to where, even if it's, with the kids or with this or with that, or man, how is the accountability factor for you guys?
Go ahead.
Accountability. I could take the criticism.
Yeah.
I could take the constructive criticism. You know, I don't never feel like she's beating me down or, you know, pounding on me to make me feel belittled or anything. It's always more of a come on. Yeah. Like, you know, it's a motivation. Exactly. It's more so motivation than I feel like, you know, shameful or anything like that. So I feel like we're both pretty good at that, at being able to give criticism, but at the same time protecting how someone may feel. You know, it's all about delivery. Yeah. You know, so as long as we could deliver it with care and, you know, I ain't trying to hurt you, but you could, hey. You know,
right? That just,
you know,
it's just a look,
right? It ain't too much like that, but we get it.
Yeah,
you know, but that go back to what I was saying earlier. You gotta want this. So as long as she want it and I want it, I could take that. You know what? You right. Let me. I was slipping. Let me tighten up.
Most definitely.
I want to say, to tack on to that, it's the message, not the delivery. I mean, it's the delivery, not the message.
Right. Yeah.
And I think like my love language is words. And I'm just so much of a talker that I ask questions. I call him if I'm sad, if I'm happy, if I feel like I achieved something, if I need to be talked off the ledge, all of that. I call this guy 1 to 5 times a day. Yeah. So I think that, part of it is that we talk so much that a lot of the time I think we alleviate some of the things that could happen or be, misconceived from one another. So we're able to be on the same page, and there's not really a need to check each other like that. It's more of like, hey, did you order books from the book fair for the girls today? Because today's the last day. Right. You remember that? Yeah. So we're not having to check each other. It's more so like, did this happen? If not, how do we fix it? Because what's the point of fighting about it now,
Yeah, that's I mean, and I'll be honest with you too. I don't know it being my man business, but he'll get a call every once in a while. You know what I mean? And I can always, if it's something else, but I can kind of tell if it's you just from his tone. And it's not, he's not,
because I was freaking out on the other side.
he's just always, you could just tell with his tone, and it's just like I always like that because I've been going him for a long time, and I said, man, I like that with my man. You know what I mean? I like hearing that part of it. So we're wrapping up. So please, you guys are both professionals. Let our audience know, if they're interested in a realtor or a barber, where can they find you guys?
Go ahead, babe.
You can find me on Instagram at Antonio_cut_it. And that is where you could also book your date and time and reservation with me that fits your best of schedule. And tap on in. I'd love to meet you. Come on through.
Yeah, I recommend them, y'all. I definitely do. And then go ahead.
So for me, you can find me by first and last name on Facebook, or you can find me on Instagram, Ashlie, ASHLIE _SPLK. And I've got kind of a mix of my personal and my professional together, so you know who you're working with.
Yeah, nice pictures of the girls and things too.
Yeah, like you gotta know a little bit about me.
Balance. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Guys, I want to thank you for the time. I appreciate it. I've been looking forward to this, to doing this with you all. You already know Shareholders Podcast. Check us out on Instagram and then the Mighty Sharp Network on YouTube. You can, of course, listen on podcasts. Guys, I gotta say it again because sometimes people don't know. The podcast, the audio. So if you're on the go, if you're at the gym, whatever, you can listen, or we're on YouTube and you can watch us as well. Either one, we appreciate it as well. Stay with us. We got more great guests coming. I enjoyed it so much. I hope you learned something and you kind of got to see the full. I wanted to bring them on because they're both professionals, but they got the family life as well. So I think we hit all of that. But thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
You know what to do, guys. I want you to be blessed. Stay sharp.